Okay, so on behalf, if you look at the agenda, our country managing director is supposed to do this slot. So on behalf of him, I would like to apologize that he could not make it, so I'm taking over the slot. So my topic today, we talk about cloud and Oracle's complete stack of cloud solutions. Now, the previous presenters have already talked about a lot of these topics, right? There are five new innovations today that redefine business. The 5 types: social, obviously, social, cloud, big data, Internet of all things, and the mobile. So these 5 things makes a lot of the C-level of all the companies to redefine their business, to look at it again and see how things can change. And obviously, the real issue that a lot of this CEO has is that the current environment, current architecture in companies today are very, very complex. Not only they are very complex, they're at least 20 years old or 15 years old or 10 years old. And if you have that kind of architecture, it's really difficult to move into a new IT architecture, right? It's very complex. And therefore, Oracle built a lot of these solutions to make it easier for customers to cross the bridge, to get to all these to access all these new environments. Now, I'm not going to talk about all the 5 today. I'm going to talk about one part of it, which is the cloud. All right? Now, cloud has picked up tremendously. Really, really very fast. If you look at the growth, so a lot of people are talking about public cloud, people are talking about private cloud, and the fact is that this growth rate of cloud computing is 5 times faster than IT growth rate. 5 times. Now, if you guys are from the past generation where we moved from mainframe to client server, that takes a long time, right? Some maybe 9 to 10 years. From client server to internet, it's about 5 years shift, perhaps. And cloud computing only takes less than 2 years. So if you're moving that fast, can your organization catch up? Everybody has to look into how they redefine their business. And, you know, people are talking about all these 4 areas, right? Database as a service, software as a service, platform as a service, or infrastructure as a service. And there is, if you look at the adoption rate, right, they're moving workloads to the cloud really very fast. Today, traditional way of computing has decreased. The non-cloud, it has decreased over 2 years. And the private cloud has increased. And public cloud is on the rise. Now, there are reasons why people want to adopt cloud. Because cloud has that power to reduce costs. It has that capability to reduce the cost and to provide you faster deployment. Much more faster to get your applications being accessed out there. 90% faster. And 70% of all IT companies today are thinking about cloud. Now, are your organization thinking about it? Do you have a cloud strategy? That's very, very important, because if you don't, then you are behind a lot of other organizations. So Oracle has built this cloud strategy, and it's a very simple strategy from Oracle's point of view. There are 3 areas that Oracle provides. 1, public cloud. Okay, you can consume Oracle through a subscription base. The second area is private cloud. You can build your own cloud in your organization. It's a private cloud. But what Oracle offers compared to the other vendors that are different is that we allow a hybrid cloud. You can do some in the private, you can do some in the public. And I'll talk about all these three areas. So let's start with public cloud. The Oracle Cloud, essentially the four areas that I talk about: database as a service, software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. We offer them publicly through the cloud, right? So looking at infrastructure, we offer all these components: storage, compute, environments, messaging, secure identity, network. We offer that on the cloud. In terms of platform, we offer for developers as well. Cloud access subscription for developers, for line of business users, whether it's a social network or analytics. And we also offer for corporate and IT departments as well. The third area that we offer, and essentially one of the biggest adoption in all public cloud, is software as a service, which is application, right? So Oracle is well known to have a full suite of products integrated. So from ERP to collaboration to HR to even SCM, supply chain management, we have that across. And today Oracle is the second largest software as a service provider. And we are going to soon release the database cloud service, which is the public cloud offering of Oracle's most popular database. Now that's going to be available soon through subscription base. So all these four components, we offer that on public cloud. And if you have a strategy in there, you can incorporate this into your organization. The second area that I talk about is obviously private cloud. So a lot of people are looking into private cloud, and there's a reason for it. Why do you offer a private cloud in your organization environment? And I give you a very perfect example here of database. Databases today are sold as they're deployed. So how organizations deploy databases today? How do they deploy it? For example, if you have a project, and that project requests for a database, right? What you will do internally in the organization, you will purchase and acquire this server. You buy it, and then you get implementation services and you deploy. Now, after deploying, what happens? Usually projects are oversized. They will oversize to cater for 3 to 5 years down the road. And if you run it, you realize the utilization is only half. So you only use 6 CPU instead of 12. So you have 6 CPU capacity in there that are not going to be utilized. What about project B? Come along. You buy another set. You acquire the hardware, and you implement it the same cost that you have to put in. And if you run it, it will be undersized in terms of utilization. Right? And you have capacity there. You have 6 CPU capacity here and another 6 CPU capacity there. It's not going to be utilized. Project C comes along, what do you do? Today, in your organization, you buy another set. Do you need to buy another set? The answer is no. You can utilize those capacity. So in terms of how we do this private cloud is that you have a database request. All you need to do is build a database configuration pool for you to create the database. It's already there. So when a database is get requested, all Oracle, so that's database as a service, as a private cloud. So if you look at how that is done comparatively, from deploying a database, I know it's a little bit small, right? From requesting a database today in your environment to deploying it, calling the infrastructure team, calling the app DBA to install, to acquire the database server and all that, it takes roughly about 8.5 days, possibly, if you have those hardware available. With database as a service, as a private cloud, you just deploy. And that takes about 3 hours. So a real-life environment that we have is called HDFC. This is a bank in India. And they cut down from the time taken to deploy a testing database, just to test a loan origination system. They cut it down from 56 days to 3 hours. And that is a very significant deployment cut down. Okay? So Oracle has those products to allow you to create the private cloud. In terms of database, we have the database 12c that has been launched, and that has multi-tenant capability. We have the engineered systems to allow you to provision the databases, and we have the enterprise management tool for you to deploy the database very fast. In terms of how the multi-tenant allows you to create, is just plugging databases into that environment, right? And this completely reduces. So a clear example of this is that when you create a multi-tenant environment, you can move from shared servers environment to a pluggable database. How does it work? If you look at truly how you deploy ERP today, CRM today, data warehouse today, they are all using different servers. They are utilizing different memories in the background. With the multi-tenant, what you can do is to have all of these placed into one centralized environment and share the memory and the resources. And you just plug in the database. So that's multi-tenant. So the capability for you to do that is tremendously easy for you to reduce costs, right? And to reduce your expenditure. So a full suite of products, I'm just talking about database just now. We do have the middleware as well, the Elastic Cloud, and we have that capability for you to do a centralized management of middleware as a service or database as a service within your own organization. And we allow you to run it in different environments. You can run it on Oracle's virtual machine or a third-party virtualization. You can have that running in Oracle's suite of products or on our engineered systems. So the third one is the hybrid cloud, and there's only one slide here. So the hybrid cloud from Oracle allows you to deploy your application, your database, anywhere. So you can move from private cloud to public cloud, and from public cloud to private cloud, and segregate the applications anywhere you want. So transparently move all the workloads, because whatever that is on-premise and on Oracle Cloud are the same type of technology. So same technology, same standards, and same products. So to sum it up, the cloud is a very, very important piece of innovation today that helps you to reduce cost, reduce expenditure, right? And it helps you to be more efficient, deploy applications and database a lot faster. Oracle has that stack, so we do have the applications as well as a complete stack of hardware and software, and we have that 3 different clouds environment for you to adopt. And if you are not looking into cloud today and doesn't have a strategy, think about it, adopt it, because it is the next big thing, and everybody is adopting it. So that ends my presentation. I hope you have a fruitful day ahead. Thank you very much.